welcome to a new video of that Portuguese knitted podcast. I'm your host, and my name is Eunice. For those who are new here, I usually share a little bit about my journey in knitting, my handmade life, and everything in between. This time, I won't be making a podcast with the more traditional sections of finished projects, WIPs, and acquisitions because I have something more exciting to share with you, which are my knitting plans for autumn and winter. So come along. So first things first, despite I'm not focusing my podcast on the traditional sections, I will be sharing what I'm wearing and where I am with my WIPs. And then we'll follow along with all my yarn acquisitions for fall and winter, the projects that I'm planning to do. So despite we are arriving in autumn very, very soon, here in Portugal the weather is still quite hot. We're having more of chilly nights and longer ones for sure, but summer is still here. We're having about between 22 to 27. Today is 30 degrees Celsius. So we're very much still using our summer clothes. And because of that, I'm still wearing my summer knits. And this is my last finished project that I shared in the previous podcast. It is the Margot top by Gregoria Fibers. That I've knitted in my knitted closet, the Sweet Viscose, in the color navy, which is a different navy color, and I used 3mm needles. It was a little bit of an interesting project to me, and I learned a lot, and I'm proud of some decisions I've made, but I shared everything about it in my last episode, so I will link it here so you can go and see a little bit more of my journey. And regarding WIPs, I'm still working in my Love Letter top by Kutapa Kika. In the last episode, I guess I had just a little bit of the yoke section or the back section, I don't remember, but I'm almost finished. I'm just finishing the last section of the ribbing, and then afterwards I just have to knit the I-cord edges for the neckline and the armholes, and it will be finished. I think the size will be nice, but lace and blocking make huge changes. But yeah, I'm very happy with it. The last section was a little bit of a frustrating because there's a lot of bubbles in the end of this project. And this section was a little bit harsh on my hands because of all the bubbles, and it was very slow. And when you get into the last pieces of the project, you just want it to finish. And so yeah, it was a little bit frustrating at the end because of that, but I'm very happy with the results. Then we'll see what happens during blocking. And that's all I have to say. I'm still working on that. As I said before, I'm a slow knitter, so I don't want to feel the pressure to have new ribs or new cast-offs every episode. So I'm still working on that, and maybe I won't be using it this season. We'll see. Maybe the weather will allow it. And now onto my fall-winter plans. I'll be using my tablet for referencing. So I'm sorry if I look at it more than I usually do, but yeah, let's begin. I have a total of 6 knitting projects that I will 100% cast on this season. I have another Wishful knits that I would love to do if time, skills, and budget allow in the end. So I'll be sharing about the ones I really want to cast on, and then we'll talk about my Wishful knits in the end. The first one I wanted to share is the Esther sweater by Petite Knit. I wanted to cast this on in the end of last winter, but I just started with a small spring summer knit, and then I was hooked because here in Portugal summer knits really are important, because I know that sometimes summer knits are a little bit underrated in other countries, but here in Portugal, because of the weather, they really make sense for me. So it was the first year I needed projects for summer, so I was a little bit hooked. So I didn't have the time to get back into more wintering projects. So I decided that I would knit my Easter sweater in the next cold season. So this is a drop shoulder sweater, worked from the top down in a textured pattern. It is mostly seed stitch or moss stitch, I don't remember, but it has this diamond shaped motif that I really liked, and I think it pairs really nicely with the seed stitch, because I really love seed stitch, but I also believe that motifs give some dynamic to the garments. So yeah, it has the option for a turtleneck or a crew neck. Both necklines are very nice for my complexion, but I will probably decide for the crew neck because I have another turtleneck plan, and because the winters here in Portugal are not that harsh, I must have options regarding the necklines. So yeah. So regarding the yarn, I already have the yarn for this project that I already shared on my last episode, which is the Jensen by Isaga. So for this, I bought 1, 2, 3, 4 skeins of the Jensen, and also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of also the Isagar silk mohair. The Isagar is the color 0, and it is 100% pure wool. Oh, again, not again.
100% new wool.
It is 100% pure wool, and the silk mohair is 75 kid mohair and 25% silk. They're the matching colors for one another, and yeah, it is the recommended yarn for this project, and I really liked the photographs that the designer took with this combination. I really like this color of white. It's not a harsh white, which is it suits my skin color a little bit better, and I really love the fluff that the silk mohair from Isagar gives to this project, especially in the seed stitch or small stitch. I don't remember really. So yeah, so that's why I decided to go for the combination that she suggested. What I really love about this pattern is, again, the combination between the seed stitch and the more diamond shaped motif, because since it is a dropped shoulder design, and I have a petite figure, I guess I'm a gamine in the Kibe body types. So dropped shoulder can be a little bit challenging because it doesn't accentuate my angularity, but because it has the diamond motif, I think the diamond motif gives a balancing, design, angular design that the dropped shoulders lacks. So I think it will be a nice combination for me, especially. So yeah, I think this won't be my first cast on of the season, but we'll see. Let's see. So the second project I have in mind is also a sweater. It's a sweater for my son. It is the Frankie Sweater Junior, also by Petite Knit. It is also a seamless sweater, works top down with a raglan construction that uses stripes of different colors through all the yoke, the body, and the sleeves. You can customize the colors you use, of course. I think the project uses, it are 7 different colors or 5 different colors. but I already saw some projects using just one contrasting colors that worked beautifully. I will use 3 different colors as the contrasting colors instead. The recommended yarn for this one is the Double Sunday by Sanders Garn, and it's exactly what I will use for the project. I haven't used this yarn before, so it's also something new for me to try, and because of that I already bought 5 skeins of this almond color, which will be my main color. I think it's a beautiful tone. Let me show you. And yeah, it is the almond. It's also 2511, which is the almond. And then I will pair it with 3 contrasting colors. One of them is the pale blue, which is the 5930. This is the electric blue, which is 5846. And then, because I'm designing this for my son, so I'm customizing for him, but I wanted to add something in a contrasting color, even between the contrasting colors for the stripes. And so I consulted the color wheel and just decided to go for this complementary color, which is orange. Colorway is 3819, which is also called that orange. So I think they will be pairing very well together, I guess, for this Frankie sweater. What I love the most about this project is that I love the finishings of the neck and the cuffs. I think it gives the project a more jovial feel that I think really represents childhood. And I'm thinking that I could also do it using a summer yarn, maybe a cotton yarn for summer knits, just using one contrasting color, maybe this color or red, which is very summerish, but we'll see. For now, we will be doing the winter version. Next up is the Covbund Shawl by Fiber Tales. I think it is Skopbund, but I'm not really sure. I tried to see it on Google Translator how you could say it, but it was about 1 hour ago and I just don't remember anymore. So what I know about the shawl is that Skopbund means forest floor, which in Danish, which seemed very appropriate to this time of the year. And I really wanted to cast a shawl this season because here in Portugal, shoulder seasons are a little bit tricky to dress for because you will have a chilly morning and a chilly evening, but in the middle of the day you can reach 30 degrees easily. So again, layering pieces, it's the best way to dress for in autumn, and I think sometimes we move from summer knits to, wintry knits and don't have anything in between. In climates like Portugal, I think shawls are very interesting pieces because you just, dress a little cotton shirt and layer it with a shawl, and in the middle of the day you can take it off very easily. But also they can layer very well over winter jackets during the winter. So I think they're very, very, very versatile pieces. So I'll be doing the Skopbund shawl, thinking about it. This project has a triangular construction. It is worked bottom up, which means it starts on the rib, which is a very thick rib, which is something I really like. Then it goes with some textures. These textures are very nature inspired, so I think they're very relatable to myself. So there's some leaves, there's some branches, and then you have a good amount of area of garter stitch, the one that sits on your shoulders, that I also really love because it's a little bit more fluffy. Urge, I think it is the name, from Fiber Tales, knitted her sample in knitting for olive, merino and silk mohair, using a colorway of a deep bare brown that I think is beautiful. I decided that I wanted a lighter piece because all of my winter jackets are mostly dark, so I thought it could give me a good combination. And when I saw the Gaza fundraise that Knitting for Olive did in the beginning of August, I immediately thought about this project, and I decided to go ahead and use the recommended yarn. And I'll use the colorway linen instead. So I bought 1, 2, 3, 4 balls of merino, and then I will add the matching silk mohair. I must say I am addicted to Knitting for Olive. I know it's a yarn that everyone is using, and sometimes it gets a little bit of backlash because of that. Everyone is using the same yarns, but the first time I used Knitting for Olive, I didn't really knew the yarn, but it was suggested for me to do a project for my son, and I loved working with the merino. So afterwards, I got very interested in the brand, and also I believe that they have very good ethics, and they focus on sustainability actions. So yeah, I just want to support that, and I wanted to support the Gazette fundraise. So I just went for it again. So I do not have any more yarn for those more predictable plans that I have for autumn winter this season. So I will now talk about the projects that I don't have yarn for. So this year I really wanted to knit a Christmas sweater, but just saying that, I cringe because there is a little of a stereotype about this type of sweaters that I don't really love. But I also know this is only on my mind because there's a lot of knitted sweaters and knitting patterns that are beautiful, and I love them. So I just didn't really wanted a sweater or a pattern that screamed Christmas. I just wanted a subtle one. And so last year when I saw Jessica from Those Twins Who Knit knitting her Ollie sweater by Knitting for Olive, I just said, that's it. That's the sweater I want. It's simple. It doesn't scream Christmas, but it is festive enough for me, at least for my first attempt into Christmas sweaters. So during the Gaza fundraise, I also added the pattern for this project, but I didn't bought the yarn. Anyway, I'll explain that in a minute. So this is a circular yoke sweater, as expected. It is worked top down with a small section of color work, which features the holly berries and the holly leaves. And it mainly uses one contrasting color, with only a third color for the berries, the holly berries. So I thought this could be manageable for me. And of course that the recommended yarn is merino by Knitting for Olive, as well as the silk mohair. So I haven't picked a yarn for this one during the Gaza fundraising because I was thinking about making this sweater a little bit different or a little bit special by avoiding the traditional color combination and try a little bit of a bolder combination of colors. But I'm not sure yet. What I had in mind was using a dark brown for the body, cream for the holly leaves, and a bordeaux for the holly berries. I can make a small sketch for you to see, but in the end, I was searching for the pattern for the project in Waverly, and 99% of them feature the traditional colors. And then I was thinking, this is a simple sweater. If I ditched it for the traditional color combination, it might not, feel Christmas at all. So I'm afraid it does not give Christmas vibes at all. So I think I will embrace the theme and keep the colorways in the traditional red and green Christmas colors. But I don't know, what do you think? Could it be another colorways good move? What do you think? Let me know in the comments, because I'm not committed with the colors yet, so we'll see. Let me know what you think. I will appreciate your suggestions. And so the next project I have in mind, it's also a sweater for me. It is the matcha sweater. As I said, Portugal does not have very harsh winters, so I was looking for the sweater that recommended a yarn combination that was a little bit less warm. and then I remembered that Vert Knit, which shout out to her because she's a Portuguese knitwear designer with the loveliest designs. And she also, I don't know her personally, but she looks so nice. But yeah, she launched her matcha sweater last autumn, I guess. And that uses a yarn from my local yarn shop, which is Ovelha Negra in Porto. This yarn is called Olivia, and it is a combination of 55% merino wool and 45% cotton paired with silk mohair. So I really loved the design of this sweater, that I thought, well, I will support Inês from First Knit and also support my yarn shop, Ovelha Negra, by using both the design and the yarn from Portugal. So yeah, I have decided on the yarn, I have decided on the design. I just only have to decide the colorways that I'm using. I'm undecided between olive green and the more bordeaux. I will use the Isagar silk mohair because it's the one I like the most until now. And I also thought about using but a yellow colorway that it's very trendy right now, but I think it will not suit me. I don't know, let me know which color would you suggest for me to use for this pattern. And then, last but not least, I have a sweater that I will do for my husband. So it will also be a gift knit, and I'm gifting this as a birthday present for him. But I am allowing him to choose either the yarn and the pattern. I, of course, made a little bit of a range of patterns that he could decide from, because, of course, he's not interested in knitting as I am, so he's not searching regularly as I am. So he asked for that. And we are probably deciding for the Salmon King sweater by Caitlin Hunter. I think it's very interesting design, especially for men. And I think it suits him and his bigger proportions, etc. The pattern has some complaints about the yoke being very long, so the color work on the yoke being very long. But I think it is manageable, especially in the bigger size like his will be. So I also like that it is knitted in worsted yarn because it will be made a little bit quicker. It is a bigger project, so I don't want to make it in 2mm needles, of course. And the other thing is that the colorway does not seem, at least for me, too difficult. So that's also that's also good. So this pattern is worked from top down in a circular yoke. It is an unisex design, and it's very size inclusive. And despite the big proportion of my husband, I think I won't be having many problems knitting it for him. So if he commits with this project, I will perhaps use Gilead by the Hera Natura for this project, because I have used it before and I know it is soft enough for a gift knit. That's something I'm really aware about, because I'm very sensitive to, and so when I want to give something to someone, I really wanted them to wear those pieces, so I follow my very strict rule of only buying yarns that I really know well, and I know they're soft enough for a gift give. I also suggested the Fort by Jaren Flood and also the Key Sweater by Petite Knit, as well as the Northland sweater, also by Petite Knit. But he's more inclined for the Caitlin Hunter one, the Salmon King one. So we'll see. Maybe I will do something for the Fish Girlful call that it's going on. I think it's managed by Young Folk Knits, and other designer. I don't remember her name. So I'll maybe put it somewhere here, and maybe I'll be able to cast it on time. We'll see. So next, let's go with our Wishful knits. I would love to knit those, but I don't think I will have the time or the skills or the budget to do it. But we'll see. The first one is the emotional support chicken, which the first time I saw this project and so many people involved with that, I thought, an emotional support chicken? What the heck? I don't need one of those. But then, as I saw projects came out, I started to fall in love with that. So I might need one emotional support chicken for myself. And I think I have enough scraps on my stash to do it. So the only limit here will be time. So next up is the Bowie Shawl. The Bowie Shawl, I just thought about it because I have this yarn that I bought maybe in 2017 in Sweden. It's from Wool Centrum, and it is 100% Swedish wool. These are two different colorways, but they're very similar. But the yarn itself, it's very interesting, and I think it has a little bit of Gotland yarn because of the long fibers that I can see. It has a little bit of a halo, but it is a little bit rustic to use without nothing under. So I thought, I don't have the amount for the sweater. I might have something for a shawl that I can use as a layer, so the rusticity won't be so not noticeable. So yeah, I went on Ravelry and I found the Bowie Shawl. The Bowie Shawl is a free pattern, which is also a good thing. It was designed to use this specific yarn, but it is inspired by David Bowie, so it is a more colorful one. It has triangulars in alternating colors. One color is a cream one, and the other one is a variegated colors in a very colorful colorway. But I decided that this difference between these two grays are not that different. So I would like to use them in block sections. So I thought the Bowie Shawl has all the requisites that I know to use this yarn. So we'll see. This yarn is on my stash for very long, so I really wanted to use that. It's not a priority, but again, if I have the time, I will cast it on. and I already have the yarn, so it is a matter of time too. Another wishful knit I would love to cast on is the Book Club cardigan by Sari Nordland. And I don't have the yarn for this, I don't have the pattern, but I have the vision and I love it. So I have the vision of this cardigan worked on a deep green color, which I know it's not the best for textures and cables, but it is my vision, with the brown leather buttons. I'm just a little afraid of this because it seems a little bit above my skills from what I have seen right until now. The people struggle a little bit with the Book Club cardigan, and I even saw Marlene Knits saying that this is a tricky one, this is a tricky one. I don't know if I'm not able to do it. And I thought, if she's not comfortable with doing that, I won't be able to do it. But again, I really want to challenge myself. And because I have this vision, I really think it has a place in my wardrobe. So I don't know. I'm not ditching this out of my plans altogether yet, but we'll see. We'll see. So the designer asks for DK yarn paired with a silk mohair, I guess, to give it a worsted weight or something like that. But I think I would 100% not use the silk mohair. I don't think the pattern asks for it. I would use maybe Gilead by the Red Nature again, or Mota by Wool Dreamers in a deep green color. Gilead has the forêt, which means forest, that I think could be lovely used in this design. We'll see. So this is just based on my vision. If I decide to cast it on, I think I'm committed with the color. I think I'm committed with the yarn, and it's something more about the limitations on time, budget, of course, because I don't have the yarn for that, and the skills that I have to knit it. So let me know if you already knitted this design. You can give me a little bit of comforting words, or on the contrary, make me give up on this, at least for this year. So finally, I would love to frog a work that I knitted last winter. I will just frog it, not because of the pattern, not because of the design. It's nothing to do with the pattern or the designer. It is all has to do with my yarn combination decisions. It is my cognac sweater. The pattern is by Atelier Castin, and I have knitted with a superwash sock yarn with a combination of Suri alpaca to make it fluffy and mid-gauge. In the end, the sweater is becoming larger and larger because of the yarn combination. So I really love the design. I don't love my yarn combination. The yarns that I use separately are beautiful, but I will frog it. I'm a little bit afraid of frog something like mohair or Suri alpaca. So if you have any advices for that, please let me know. And I will probably pair the Suri alpaca that I used, which is Cumulus by Fibrous Baits, with something else to knit the cloud sweater by Petite Knits, and use the sock yarn, which is a local yarn from Holland, the Netherlands. Minoworks sock yarn, I guess, that I could use for a combination of socks, really good socks for me, my husband, maybe my son, or hats or other accessories. And I'll probably use of course, the pattern for make a cognac sweater later. So I guess that's it for my fall knitting, fall-winter plans. I'm talking about fall-winter because I don't think I will be able to do everything until the winter begins. Again, I'm a slow knitter, so I'm planning a little bit of a fall-winter because let's see where it goes. But again, since I don't have the yarn for all of those projects, I will also allow myself to embrace new patterns that come out during this fall winter, and if I get enthusiastic or fall in love with one of them, I will just give up on something and cast something new. So I will be very flexible about those plans, but there's a lot of them that I really want to knit and to cast on. So that's it for my fall and winter plans. I hope you liked my selection. Please give me some suggestions of new patterns that you believe I would like to knit. And yeah, if it makes sense for you, please subscribe, leave a comment, or follow me on Instagram. I'll leave all the links down below for all the yarns, all the projects that I've talked about, as well as any other links that I feel are relatable to this video. And let's see you in the next one. Bye.